All right, everybody. Let's talk about all the chaos going on in Madrid right now because, according to multiple Spanish outlets, Florentino Perez is seriously considering letting Vinícius Júnior go. And I'm going to give you all the facts. But the craziest part is, all of that may have been decided in the middle of El Clásico at the Bernabéu. Before we go any further, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any future content from us. We are growing extremely fast. We are almost at 6,000 subscribers. That is crazy, y'all. So guys, please be part of us right now and let me know in the comments, how do you feel about Vinícius Júnior and all this situation with Real Madrid? Before I go any further, though, I do want to make something clear. I am going to come to Vinícius Júnior defense on this one. Even Tony Cruz himself, a guy who doesn't take sides even though he played for Real Madrid, he said we need to be on Vinícius Júnior on this one. But let me set the stage real quick. You ever been at a family reunion or maybe just a group of friends and there's always that one married couple that clearly has problems and they'll start arguing in front of everyone because someone forgot the lemons? Listen, it's not about the lemons. That's exactly what happened between Vinícius Júnior and Xabi Alonso at the Bernabéu during the Clásico. Vinícius Júnior threw a full-blown temper tantrum when he got subbed off, yelling, gesturing, basically asking, why me? Why me? Why always me? As he walked off the pitch and into the locker room, he muted, I'm leaving. That is, I have had enough. Now, to be fair, he came back to the stands, to the bench with his teammates. He came back with the team, trying to act like things were fine. But come on, we've all been there. That's the kind of tension that doesn't just disappear overnight. This feels like a relationship that it's already broken, and now they're just trying to pretend to stay together just for the cameras, for the Instagram posts, just like couples do. They'll post a picture saying, I love you, baby, I love you this, I love you that. But deep down, everyone at that reunion knows what is going on deep down. But let's be fair. This is where I come to Vinícius Júnior's defense. Let's put ourselves in his shoes. You're in your prime. You're finally playing great. You're playing great football again. You've been decisive in the last few games, probably the last 4 games, with your dribbles, creating chances, making a difference. Now, before doing it, like at the beginning of the season, Xabi Alonso has been, taking him off and subbing him out because he wasn't playing great. Now, that's understandable. But when he's playing great, now he's still getting subbed off. And I think this is where the problem is and where Xabi Alonso makes a mistake. Coach takes you off in El Clásico. He was playing his best football. We could not stop him. Koundé was on skates all game. And that's not just frustrating. It's a little humiliating. And I mean, let's be honest. Can you imagine Pep Guardiola subbing off Messi in his prime during El Clásico? Or Mourinho pulling out Cristiano Ronaldo when he's dominating a big game like this? They'll lose their flipping minds, okay? That's exactly what Vinícius Júnior did. So no, I don't blame him for being upset. I blame him for how he handled it. That is the difference between being angry and throwing a temper tantrum that embarrassed the whole team. And let's be honest, he took from that big moment from Real Madrid. They just beat their biggest rivals and they have gotten beaten down by Barca the last 4 games, and they finally got over the hump. And Vinícius Júnior took a lot of attention out of that. Like Cruz said it perfectly. Every player gets upset and gets mad when they're getting subbed off. But you don't shout out, I'm leaving the club, in front of the whole world. That's not leadership. In my opinion, that would be immaturity. But again, let's talk about Xabi Alonso here and his decision. Because I don't think Vinicius' anger came from nowhere. I think he's starting to feel disrespected. It's always him coming off the pitch in the second half. And the part that really made it worse is that midweek there's no game. We don't have a game until the weekend. So it's not even about saving energy. You could feel it on the pitch. Vinícius Júnior felt like he was as if he was being punished for something. And here's the irony. In the last few matches, he has been the difference maker. Do you guys remember against Getafe when he came off in the second half? He was relentless on the left flank and got 2 players sent off because these Getafe players are extremely physical. He used that physicality against them. And he opened up the game for Mbappé, who finished it. Go look at the Villarreal game. He was the best player in that game as well. His pressures, his dribbling completely changed the tempo of that game. And also, may I remind you, he got another player sent off from Villarreal as well. Even up against Juventus, the run where he dribbled past 2, and I think it might have been in front of 3 players. He takes a shot, hits the post. Jude Bellingham is there to score and take that rebound. That came off Vinícius as well. He has been decisive in the last 4 games. So again, what's the excuse for taking him off at that moment in that game? As a Barcelona fan, I was happy because we could not deal with him on that left flank all game. Now, I get it. Real Madrid may be trying to protect an asset, maybe because they want to sell him at the end of the season. I don't know. Maybe it's because of Rodrigo. They need to play Rodrigo because if they don't play Rodrigo, how much can they really get for him? 45, 50 million for a bench player. So they need to bring him on. They need to showcase his abilities so that another team, maybe a Premier League team, can come in and say, we'll give you 100 million for him. But if you have him on the bench, you're not going to get your money's worth at the end of the season if Vinícius stays. And if Vinícius leaves, maybe they can replace him for Rodrigo on that left flank. I'm not sure. But look, football isn't Wall Street. You can't manage player like you manage stocks. You can't just plug in and remove. You manage them like human beings. And right now, it feels like Xabi Alonso doesn't really fully respect Vinícius Júnior. At least he doesn't see him like as a must player who has to stay the whole game. He's always thinking in terms of like what decisions can I make to remove Vinícius Júnior. It feels a little personal. You can see it in their body language. There's no connection. There's no trust. There's no chemistry. And when that happens between a coach and a superstar, it's only a matter of time before one of them leaves. One of them leaves each other, whether that's the coach or the player. So yeah, when Vinícius Júnior said, I'm leaving, it didn't sound like a heat of the moment frustration. It sounded like someone who's already halfway out the door. And look, maybe the chaos cools off, and maybe they'll patch it up for a few months. But in my opinion, it feels like the beginning of the end. And the truth is, Vinícius Júnior, he has a lot of passion, but he also has a lot of chaos. And it could be a blessing and a curse situation. He plays with emotion, and sometimes the same emotion burns everything around him. So apparently this morning he came out and he apologized. So let's take a look at it, shall we? First of all, here's the link from ESPN when they're talking about the relationship between Vinícius Júnior and Real Madrid's coach Xabi Alonso has deteriorated after forward reacted angrily and being substituted in the Sunday game, El Clásico. Sources told ESPN. Now let's take a look at his apology from Fabrizio Romano. Vinícius Júnior official statement. Today, I want to apologize to all the Madridistas for my reaction when I was substituted in El Clásico, just as I have already done in person and during training. I also want to apologize again to my teammates, the club, and the president. Sometimes Passion gets the better of me because I always want to win and help my team. My competitive character stems from the love I feel for this club and everything and everything it represents. I promise to keep fighting every second for the good of Real Madrid as I have done since day one. So that's basically Vinicius Júnior saying, acknowledging, right, that he was wrong and he made a mistake doing this. But in reality, I don't know. I don't know what to make of these apologies, to be honest with you, because I see better than I hear. A lot of time, these apologies is they talked. He talked to probably he already talked to Florentino Perez, who told him to do that, and his PR people, they know this isn't a bad look for the sponsors, and after they talk about their agents, they'll come up with like these sort of apologies that at the end of the day, it's not just about how you feel. Like, he'll post this on social media, just like couples do, and they can go out and say, "Oh, you know what? We love each other." And what happens 3 months later? They break up. Now, I do think it's a step in the right direction. It shows maturity. It shows awareness. But here's the problem. I've been seeing this for a little while now. Vinícius Júnior has never been good at being subbed off. And he's definitely, most definitely, not good at taking the back seat. And I'll end with this. Let's be honest. Ever since Kylian Mbappé walked through the door, we haven't seen the same Real Madrid. It's no longer Vinícius Júnior's team. The spotlight shifted. The hierarchy changed. And deep down, Vinícius Júnior knows this. You can see it in the body language, the frustration, the looks. The looks to the bench when he's getting subbed off, the temper tantrums, the constant feeling that he's not the one, that he's always been the one being sacrificed so that Mbappe can keep the center stage. And that eats at players like him, players who build their careers on emotion, flair, and being that guy, being the guy for the team. So yeah, he apologized, but that doesn't erase the pattern. This isn't about a bad night. This isn't about a player who just had one temper tantrum. This is about a player who feels like he's losing his place in the story that he helped write at Real Madrid. And according to ESPN sources close to the team say that the relationship between Xabi Alonso and Vinícius Júnior is completely broken right now. There's tension in training as well. He's benching him. I heard a story that Vinícius Júnior was upset because when Mbappe had been injured, Vinícius Júnior he was put on the bench player squad and put Mbappe there when he just barely came back. He barely just came back to training, and then Mbappe was automatically back. So because of stories like this, I've heard stories like Vinícius Júnior may even demand to leave in January. I think that would be crazy. I would never believe such a story. But let me just say this. You can say I'm sorry, but when you already stormed off like that, when you already raised your voice like that and made it clear you're not happy, you have made it clear you're not happy. It's like a marriage where you keep apologizing for slamming the door after every argument. At some point, the apology doesn't fix the issue. It just confirms there is one. So while Vinicius is doing the right thing publicly, and privately, this feels like a relationship on the brink. The trust is gone and the respect is literally fading. Because in football, just like in life, you can apologize for the outburst, but you can't apologize your way out of unhappiness. So Real Madrid has a real question here. Do they want passion or do they want control? Because Vinícius Júnior is chaos. He's raw emotion. He's unpredictable, electric, and fiery. And maybe that's what makes him great. But it's what makes him exhausting. So Madrid can keep trying to manage it, or they can just cash in and move on. But if they lose him, they will be losing one player who truly gave the team an edge, and this edge that no one else has in the entire squad. Either way, the story isn't ending quietly, because when relationships fall apart, especially inside of big brands like Real Madrid or Barcelona, they don't end in silence. They end with fireworks. Thank you for watching until the end. I appreciate every single one of you who are already subscribed to the channel. We're growing extremely fast. But guys, before you go, please make sure you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and don't forget to leave me your comments. What are your thoughts about this whole saga with Vinícius Júnior? Do you think he will stay and resign his contract, or you think he will actually leave the club? And guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video.